Hello, welcome back to She's Doing All Right. This episode is delayed by a good while because I've been addicted to a new show. It's not really new, it's a podcast on YouTube, I think. I mean, it's everywhere, but YouTube is the most entertaining way to watch it. Last week, I told you to download Bravo and start paying to watch like Summer House or whatever, reality TV. Because, like, my reasoning was because that way you can escape from your own drama in your own life and you can kind of focus on other people's drama in life. I have a brand new one, a recommendation, and it's first of all, cancel Bravo or Hey You, whatever you're paying for. Go to YouTube, look into Caleb Hammer Financial Audit. You will be pleasantly surprised to find out that you can save money. You will be watching other people's drama and you will feel so good about yourself because there is a solid chance you are not making the same mistakes as a lot of these people. And you will also feel equally called out because there's a good chance you're making some of these same mindsets and habits that these people are making as well. So, yeah, I'm recording this Friday afternoon. Normally my episodes come out Friday morning. I record somewhere during the week. Yesterday I was going to record, but I literally got so caught up with financial audit that I was distracted. I forgot to take my son to music class. And then I also I thought it was Wednesday, to be honest. I thought it was Wednesday. And I completely forgot to record an episode. I'm going no notes right now, so who knows how this is going to turn out. But yeah, it's just so good. And I think there's like 2.5 years of episodes to watch. I first looked at Caleb's stuff on TikTok, I believe. I found him like maybe the last couple of years. But he is very funny in his delivery of how he reads people. It's kind of like a financial roast as well as a financial audit. So it's like, that's what I mean. You get the drama, you get the fun. It's very entertaining. It's very educational. I have been questioning most of my purchases. I've been going through our finances. I mean, I like to do that anyway. But my thing is that I like to go through stuff, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm changing anything. Like, I'm really big for knowing the information and doing nothing with it. I think I said this last week too. But like, I know how to do things and then I just don't do it. And I'm not sure why. With our finances, I like to go through them regularly. I go through pretty much monthly at the minimum, but ideally weekly. And I keep track of everything that I'm spending. I try to keep stuff going with my husband's spending. Like, he's really good about it. He's taught me so much more about like affordability and frugality because I did not grow up with any form of money knowledge, if that makes sense. Well, I guess I did. It just wasn't necessarily good money knowledge. So if you've grown up like me and you also have had to go through your entire 20s learning how about money, I would highly recommend checking out the financial audit, Caleb Hammer. Another one who's not quite as yelly, but still a really great podcast is Ramit Sethi, I believe, or Ramit Sethi. I think that's his name. And he does I Will Teach You to Be Rich. There was a Netflix show, there's a book, podcast. I love his stuff. And my favorites are the ones where they sit down with couples and then they just talk to the couples about their finances. They go through everything. It's so insightful. It's just very insightful. But two of the big crazy things were, the one is how many people, like so many Americans, I'll say Americans because I don't really know a lot of, I mean, my friend group. I won't generalize the entire country based off of the people I know. But in my friend group, this is not a thing. In Canada and in the States, or most of these people that he is interviewing, they believe in birthday months. Full grown-ups, adults, they've decided that they get to celebrate their birthday for a whole month at the expense of whatever. They have taken out loans. This one person took out a $5,000 loan for her birthday month, and then she went and had a different credit card that she also spent on for her trip to Disney, which was also in her birthday month. Then 2 months later, they went and spent money on their daughter's trip to the birthday. Another one, so that's the first thing, is that there's like this huge entitlement to a birthday month. Like, oh my God, I cannot imagine going into debt for my birthday. Anyway, the other thing is that they have this like insane obsession with making traditions and using that to justify spending. So this one woman was like, we had to take our daughter to Disney for her birthday. It's a family tradition. And he's like, how old's your daughter? She goes, well, it was her first birthday. I was like, I mean, his reaction was also the same. But I'm sitting there going, it's her first birthday. Traditions can start at any time. You can make a tradition anytime you want, and it can also stop whenever you want. Disney for a birthday is, not gonna lie, very cliche birthday trip. Second of all, not a tradition because you're probably going to go multiple times throughout the year if you live close enough to do that. And it's expensive as hell for a first birthday. I have a hard time justifying spending on, well, not spending on kids. That's not what I mean. Spending on kids' birthdays on memories that they will not remember. Yes, you will remember it as a parent. So I do believe making it special is important. Do the cake, do a little gift, like whatever is going to make you feel really good as the parent. You have to also create room for that because even if they can't remember, you will. Their childhood is your motherhood, your parenthood, and you deserve to enjoy it as well. So I'm not saying that you can't do anything like that. But like $600 for a first birthday, I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. Why? That is, not only is it expensive, I guarantee you $100 of that is balloons, so that's wasteful. I also hate balloons, but my kids love them, so we blow up balloons. Yeah, themed birthdays. I'm really excited for that to get out of the trend. I think that 90s lifestyle is coming back in trend, and I'm really grateful because I've never stuck to, I mean, let me just preface all of this by saying I'm an Aquarius sun, and we are stereotypically avoiding trends. So it is in my nature to not like what the majority people like. It feels very pick me. It feels very I'm not like the other girls energy, and I've just had to embrace that there's part of me that like I know that's not what I'm doing. I just have very strong opinions on things, and it has nothing to do with whether it's popular, because I do like some of the trendy popular things and I will do it. I'm not going to deny myself something that I enjoy just to seem different, you know? But a lot of this stuff is so ridiculous. Like if you cannot afford a Kardashian level birthday, that's actually really okay. And you know what? Theirs is kind of tacky, not gonna lie. So yours doesn't need to be tacky. You can have an entire birthday without going on theme. And if you do have a theme, that's super cute. I love that too. You can also do it within a budget because it's a kid's birthday. I think that birthdays, this is my big hot take. I think kids' birthdays, if you go too big and over them, you are making them entitled little creatures by making them feel like everyone has to go all out every single year on their birthday. I think birthdays should be special, but I don't think you should be going into debt for birthdays. I don't think kids' birthday should ever cost more than $500, and that's like a sweet 16 or like a special birthday of like 13 or 10 or whatever, those milestone birthdays, you know? I also don't think that every single year needs to have a birthday party. I think that the kids can decide. They should have like some say in that, obviously. But you could do like an event with a friend or two friends where they could go to like a theme park or go take swimming lessons or swimming pool or whatever, you know what I mean? So the kids can do something, but it's like you invite two friends or one friend. That's your birthday. And if you want to have a bunch of friends, then you're doing something super low key at home and you're inviting all the people. But I don't think that there needs to be a huge birthday party every single year, especially in the younger years. Like kids get so overstimulated and parents get so overstimulated, and we're doing it to ourselves. And then birthdays don't become enjoyable. This is my opinions on spending money on kids' birthdays. I'm sorry that this is kind of random and also aggressive. I didn't grow up with a lot of friends, so maybe I'm gonna have to change my mind on all of this as my kids grow up, and if they become super popular, we'll see. But yeah, we never had like a huge birthday party because I didn't have a ton of friends, but I always did have like one friend come over, or we'd do something occasionally. But yeah, it wasn't like this huge thing. The only thing that I would change if I could go back, have like a kid's birthday, the only thing I would change would be that there's like some form of tradition in the mornings. So I've seen a lot of people setting up like their stuffed animals, the kids' stuffed animals have party hats and everything like that. And that's their birthday morning tradition. And I think that's super cute. I love that. Again, it doesn't really cost much. Like you could take the kids' birthday animals or their stuffed animals and you put party hats on them and set them up with a few little gifts. It's adorable, it's simple, and it's intentional and personal. There's a lot of L's, but you say like it doesn't need to be overblown, right? take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt because I kind of grew up as a Grinch. Like, well, that's a different story for a different time. Maybe I'll do like a Christmas episode on why I hate Christmas, but also why I'm liking it now as a parent. But as a person, not a fan of celebrations that much. Probably should dive into that with therapy now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I think that the tradition would be to start something in the morning. I love that idea. And then I saw this other tradition on TikTok, I think, or something. And this girl was sitting in front of her cake, and her parents and family would each light a candle and put the candle in the cake while stating their wish for her or stating a blessing for her. And then as she blows it out, that's her, like, she's blowing out for all the wishes and letting them all come true. And I thought that was so cute. And I love it because it gives the person at the birthday, so you can do it so simply, right? Just like a small cake or a large cake, whatever you want to do, I don't care. But the intention of everybody lighting a candle and telling that person what they appreciate and value about them, I think it's really good. Some years we really need that. And if it was written down, you have a whole year to like read back why people have loved you in the last year and what they appreciate about you and all of this. Yeah, I think you know what I'm saying. So those are two things I do want to start doing as the kids get older. Anyway, we're going off the rails. This all started by don't spend too much money on your birthday because Americans have this entire like obsession with birthday trips. So this is all this rant going on because I've been binging this freaking show. It's so good though. I'm obsessed. I also love to judge people, admittedly, not in like a I think I'm better than you way, but in a wow, I would not make that choice for myself kind of way. And I think there is a difference. It's a really great show to see where I would have ended up if I had not met my husband. Because I think I've talked about this in the past, but he and I have very different financial upbringings, like very, very different. He was consistent middle class his whole life. His parents did such a good job of instilling good like money values, talking about money, encouraging him and his brother to like have trade jobs or investing. I was like 20 years old before I even knew that a TFSA existed. I don't think I started contributing to an RSP until I was like 25. And a lot of that was because of how I grew up. We just didn't have a ton of money. And then even the way that money was spoken about was really like, oh, don't worry, like spend the money and then we don't have to worry about it. That was a big saying. The other one was I need to get the baby check because we can't have groceries unless we don't have the baby check or unless we have it. So I do catch myself sometimes falling into those mental thoughts again. And yeah, so my husband really helped change my mindset about a ton of things. When we first started dating, actually, he was always like, you got to start saving some money. And I was like, what's the point? I could step off a curb tomorrow and get hit by a bus. And I just that was my entire concept of honestly life in a way of like, do it now because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. I still think that there is some value to that side of thinking, but it also feels so good to just have money in the bank. So it's interesting watching this show and seeing where I could have ended up financially because I can see people who are 30 and they are still saying the things I used to say at 20. And the only thing that's different between us is that they don't necessarily have a partner who like calls them out on it. And then there's another flip side though. You have to be open to it. You have to be willing to acknowledge where your spending mistakes are. Don't get defensive. Don't try to justify it because there are a lot of people whose partners are calling them out. They are getting frustrated, and that's why they're on that show for financial audit. And they will not take accountability. There's a lot of people there who just try to justify every purchase. That was something I've really noticed as a big trend in the women on the show, which is kind of sad, is the moms justify that it's for the kids. Yeah, I spent a lot on Amazon, but it was for a kid's birthday party. Or I spent a lot here, but it was for my daughter's birthday. But the thing is, they're going through all of the statements, and that Amazon was like 1 or 2 purchases for the kid's birthday. The rest was for mom. It's clothes, it's shoes, it's makeup, it's skincare. It's just this justification of being like, oh, well, no, I spent some of it on the kids, so that's where it all went. I love the show because it's also holding me accountable. And yeah, just as a mom, we can blame the kids a lot for our spending. And it's just a decoy thing. Like, again, it's just us not taking accountability for our own finances because it's scary. Like, it's so intimidating at first. But I think the key is to be consistent, own up to what we're doing, own up to our bad habits, acknowledge that we don't know what we're doing, and then we didn't know what we're doing, and now we do know what we're doing. Like, there are so many resources out there that really there's no excuse for us to be in, like, as a country, in so much debt. And like, yeah, I just think it's so interesting watching this show, I guess. It's like a social study in a way, and a social experiment. But one thing he did say, because the other thing is that this is all of us, he said that he's been getting comments being like, when are you going to have just like a normal person on? Every one of your guests has so much extreme credit card debt. He's like, these are the normal people. Like, this is your average American or your average North American. People are walking around looking well, looking nice, and you would never know that they are thousands of dollars in debt. People are not paying their credit cards. People are, like, this one chick wanted to buy a new car because her Chrysler or whatever had 100,000 kilometers on it, and she in her head decided, well, no, if it's got 100,000 kilometers on the vehicle, I need a new vehicle. And there are people that do think things like that. It's not a judgment on them. They're not bad people. Some of them are, not my friends, but some of these people in the show are bad people. But it just, as a country and as a community, I think we can all learn so much now and get rid of the money stress over time. Anyway, it's been a very interesting show. I'm obsessed, and I'm going to go watch it now again. Part of being all right is being financially all right. If you are a stay-at-home mom, if you are dealing with postpartum depression, or if you're not a stay-at-home mom and you're just dealing with any forms of mental health, finances play a huge part into that. And so that is kind of why I wanted to talk about this. It was a very sporadic, random episode, but it is also a big, important part of it too. Like, our mental health is tied to our financial health and our physical health and our emotional health. Is that all of them? Spiritual wealth, spiritual health. It is all connected. My biggest thing I noticed a few months ago with my social media free month was no spending. Like, I had the lowest credit card bill the entire month because it was truly just necessities. I was not being sold. I was not getting these little subliminal messages and ads convincing me I need to get something, whether it was a chocolate bar or a new hairbrush or whatever. I've started up a new delayed gratification list, and it's literally everything I want. I'm just putting it on this list, and I can get it after a week of it being there. Stickers for my son's room, like to decorate the wall. A new bath mat in my bathroom. These are not needs. We are justifying so many things by saying that we need them, but they are not needs. Like, we are so disconnected from reality in what truly makes a need. Water, food, a roof over our head, heat or cooling, and clothes. Like, that's truly, we are all living such rich lives in that sense, and there's no need for us to be, I'm talking to myself, there's no need for us to be in debt. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I hope this is sort of an informational and educational episode. Highly recommend checking him out. I'll link his YouTube down below in the comment or description, and you can find me at sarah.g.carter on TikTok and Instagram. You can follow the podcast, She's Doing All Right podcast, on Instagram. My email's down below if you have any questions. You can also send me a DM. And with that, I want you to take a look at your wallet and your mirror and say, hey, you're doing all right, and you're gonna be fine. I'm really grateful that you were here today. I am grateful to be doing this. Thanks for listening, even when it's late. Okay, love you. Bye.